Hello and welcome to Jock Out the Box. Today I am doing something different. So I want to see if I can make a hand crank power radio. What do they call it? Human powered contact with a ham radio. So I have my trusty ID-50 here, no battery in it. I have my hand crank battery, which you can see in one of my other videos, and we're gonna see if I can make a contact just by cranking this. So I have a friend of mine on standby, and he's agreed to help me with this. So you'll see if I take this and turn this, we should get coming on. So I've got no capacitance, so there's a lot of capacitance inside the battery or inside my box, supercapacitor as well as a lithium iron phosphate. So I can put that on. My supercapacitor is only at 6.3 right now, so that, or I can put it on the lithium iron phosphate LiFePO 4 battery and that comes on, so that will work. I guess both of them you can use or call it human energy, but I want to do it on the fly kind of thing. So what I've come up with is I've got these capacitors that I've wired. So if I take this, stick this in here, and I do the same. So I've got my regulator on so that I don't over voltage my radio, and it's set to 15 volts, more or less 15 volts, so I can't go over, and that's the standard voltage for the incoming of these guys. So I'm on super low power on this radio currently, so we're gonna see if I can give my buddy a call and hear if he's there. So let's do that. VE3 QYV, VE3 JFS, you copy there, Kristen?
VE3 JFS, VE3 QYV, how copy?
You're coming in just fine. I'm busy turning the hand crank battery here, so trying to keep the radio alive. But yeah, you're sounding great. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this on higher power, but for low power it seems to work. Maintaining about 14 volts average, I guess. So yeah, thanks for coming back to me.
Yeah, man, you're coming in fantastic, loud and clear, no noise. Whatever you're doing, it's working, and it's working great. Over.
Okay, so thanks for coming back to me. I wonder if we should maybe try one of the local repeaters. Any suggestions?
Yeah, Jacques, let's go to the OBP repeater, VE3 OBP, over here. Let's try that one. Over.
Okay, QSL, I'll jump over. If I do not come back, just hang around for me, because I'm not sure if I'm going to make it with low power, so I'll have to maybe switch over to the internal capacitor of my hand crank battery here. So if I don't make it immediately, just hang around for me.
Yeah, we can definitely jump over. Just let me know when you want a QSY. Over. VE3 JFS, VE3 QYV.
So too long talking and I run out of power here. I think from about 10 volts and up I can transmit. Anything after that it doesn't allow me to. So let's see if I go over to the OBP repeater. I don't think I'm going to make it. Let's give it a second. My arm's getting tired. VE3 QYV, VE3 JFS, do you copy?
VE3 JFS, VE3 QYV, yep, you are hitting the repeater, and I am able to hear you. You're coming in. How much power are you running? Over.
This is super low on the radio. It's super low, so I'm not sure how I'm making the repeater, but I've really got to crank it here.
You know, you're coming in fantastic, and well, yeah, I can definitely understand you. And for human power cranking, I have to say that's pretty awesome. Definitely can understand you, and I'm not sure what the super low power is. Right now, I'm using an Icom radio at 10, but no, you're coming in all right. Over.
It works. VE3 QYV, VE3 JFS. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can switch over to a higher power, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to keep up then. So just give me a few seconds. Let me just switch it. It doesn't work. Okay, back to the drawing board.
This is VE3 QYV. What I'll do is I'll stand by and I'll see if you have enough power to transmit. VE3 JFS to VE3 QYV monitoring.
Alright, so that ain't gonna work. So I'm gonna use the internal capacitor, which I'm at 6.2, so I'll have to crank that up for a little bit. Well, we made contact with just the cranking, but you need some form of capacitance, I guess. You can't just have the hand crank. There's no capacitors between my generator and the rest of the circuit, unless I choose the big capacitor or my lithium iron phosphate battery. So I've got to choose one of the two, ideally, to do this. And yeah, so I'll see if I can put some specs in the description of the actual capacitor that I have in here. And I'm getting tired, so let's see. I need to fix this. I need to take this and put in a new meter. The problem is you over voltage it from this generator about 50 volts or so with no load on it, so the voltage jumps quite quickly. So got to try. If anybody's got ideas for me, I need to install some form of a circuit where I can take, let's say, from about 40 volts or so, or 35 volts. It would take, once it hits 35 volts, to dump the load into maybe a resistor or something. I know I've read up you can use like neon light bulbs, because they only come on at like 35 or 40 volts, something to that effect. So wire something like that in. So I was maybe look at that. I've replaced this amp voltmeter so many times already, and it's whenever you get to, so if I have my regulator on and it's regulating to 14 volts, this side is still at 50 volts, because when it gets to voltage it changes the load through the, let's see, so I'm gonna put my radio one step up on low power. I'm out of breath. Well, let's do this again. A VE3 QYV, VE3 JFS, how copy?
VE3 JFS, definitely much louder. Clear, over.
VE3 QYV, VE3 JFS. Yeah, thanks, Kristen. I've resorted to jumping back to the internal capacitor on my hand crank battery. So just keep on cranking it. But it's hard work. I'm out of breath. Starting to break a switch here. VE3 QYV, VE3 JFS.
Just have to stay at home and
I don't know what's happening with Kristen there, but seems like he's in a bad spot or something. So let's maybe leave it at that. VE3 QYV, VE3 JFS. Kristen, I think you were in a bad spot there, but I got a little bit of it. But thanks for coming back to me. I appreciate you helping me out with this. I'm on 11.5 volts with my battery or my hand crank here, and really tired already. So I'll say 73, but yeah, it's working. 73, Kristen. We'll chat again. VE3 QYV, VE3 JFS. 73.
QSO, Doc, yeah, I was just sitting down there enjoying a nice Canadian summer air, but no, you were coming in great. So 5 for 5, 5-9, sir. VE3 JFS, VE3 QYV, 73, my friend. Have a good night.
Holy smokes.
I got a VA3 VAF. I'm not sure your call sign is. VE3 QYV. 3 QYV VE3 VAM. In North Burlington, sorry, my gosh, Bowlersville, Ontario, sir. Bowlersville, Ontario. Alright, sorry, VE3 VAM, Victor Alpha Mike, if that's correct, QSL? So, the point is, see, I'm doing into this repeater.
Alright, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. Yeah, so it's done. We made a contact via hand crank power. So yeah, it's done. I'm sure there's other people that have done this before as well. Some weird contraption they have. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you find my content interesting, please like, subscribe, and share. It helps quite a lot on the channel. Thank you so much for watching.